So I just got done pouring my heart out in front of Brennan Burchard, Craig Clemens, Lewis Howes, Trent Shelton, Ethan Willis. Who else was there? Russell Brunson, Jeff Walker, like these amazing minds. We're in this woods in Wyoming, and I look dead at this guy, and he tells me, I don't like it. Like my heart, like I've been working on this for years, and what I wanted to do, I poured it out. He said, I don't like it. And to be honest, in that moment, I felt crushed. And I had a couple decisions. There's 5 things I did that from this moment allowed me to figure out how to become great, how to even be who you see right now. And it happened specifically. So today's top 5 in 5 are things you do when somebody kind of muddles up your dream a little bit. So here's the thing. I had this moment in time, and there's 5 things I had to do. I had to figure out, how do I handle this right now? The first thing that you must do when someone kind of steps on your soul a little bit is you have to gauge your respect for this person. Now, I'm going to be honest. I respected this person. His name's Ethan Willis. Phenomenal guy. Like probably one of the most wise men I've met in this planet walking at all. But I had to sit there and go, ooh, man, I don't feel too good. Like it hurt my soul because I built this company and this brand called Trust or Hustle. And he pretty much told me like, I don't like it. Now, if I didn't respect him, what ends up happening is I go, I don't care about you. Or I take insight from somebody and it hurts my heart from a person I don't respect. So what happens when you post something on the internet and someone doesn't like it in the comments and you feel bad about yourself? Really, do you want to go off the thoughts of this person? Like not specifically. So you got to gauge your respect for this person. If you can gauge your respect, it allows you to get to a space where you can kind of get a feel for really whether or not you can take it in. And if you take it in, beautiful. Now what you get to do is step back for a second and you get to listen. This is step number 2. Listen to how it's being said, what's being said, not how it's being said. Because sometimes we'll hear stuff from people we respect, right? And they'll say it in like a way that just it punches your soul. Like there are some people that can dig in. And if we listen to how it's being said, sometimes in an emotional manner, we'll miss out on what's being said. And when you miss out on what's being said, you might lose the entire lesson altogether. When I played football, I got yelled at every single day. I got mother effed. People made fun of my mom, like crazy stuff. Not they didn't know her, but like your mom is, I'm like, you get it. The thing is, I had to listen to what was being said, not how it was being said. Because there was heated emotional moments, and if I listen to how, I might miss out on it. So when somebody's giving you feedback, let's say you respect them, and they say it in a way that kind of pokes your heart, don't shut them out. Don't close them off because they said it in a way that you thought was rude and you thought didn't feel good. Because the reality is, it could be an amazing lesson you might completely miss because you got your ego in the way. And you got, I don't like how you said that, right? So you have to get to this point of realizing what they said and hearing it. Now, the next thing you got to do, third thing, is you must entertain an idea without having to accept it. I've heard this quote before. The mark of a wise person is, can they entertain an idea without accepting it, right? So I'm sitting here. I respect Ethan. He said it in a respectful way, but he kind of broke it down. But when he first said it, he's like, I don't like it. I don't know if that was the best way to frame it to me, but I heard it and I was like, all right, why? Right? I could sit back, pull the ego back, and I entertained the idea. He said this. He says, in the rest of the world, what we do, there's a message and a messenger. If you have a message, but you're not the right messenger, it falls short, right? I couldn't tell you the best way to navigate living in Europe. I don't live in Europe. I'm not the best messenger, right? But if the message was great and the messenger's off, it's a problem. But if also, let's say the messenger's phenomenal. Beautiful, powerful messenger, but the message doesn't match, you're also off, right? So the idea I had to entertain was what he told me. He said, you got to be the messenger with the right message. So I love what you're doing. You're the messenger, but the message has got to be dialed in to identity. He's like, this trust or hustle thing. Everybody hustles. What sets you apart is you've navigated all these parts of your life. That's what I want to know about you. Talk about that message. So I entertained the idea, but I didn't yet accept it. The more I sat back and started thinking about this, it hit my ego. Here's why. Because step 4 is bury your ego. When we have these moments set in, we start thinking about it, we entertain the idea, our ego rears up and goes, yeah, okay, but you already spent time working on this. People already know you for that. What's going to happen if all of a sudden you change your mind? They're going to think you're wishy-washy. The ego rears up. And if you let the ego rear up, you will miss out on the gold. Now, if I'd have reared up and said, look, I've already built about 12 courses in this area. I've done keynotes on this. I've got logos built. I've got branding made. I got all this stuff around this concept of trust or hustle. Man, I can't do that, Ethan. I got to stay in this lane. I would have done two things. I would have missed out on the opportunity to shift into what I do now, but also I would have lost the entire room and their ability to tell me things I needed to hear. Nobody thinks about that. If you cut off somebody and you shove their idea away because of your ego, they're not going to give you no more gold. They're not going to they're going to be like, why even help this guy? You don't even want to help himself. See what I'm saying? So don't let the ego rear up. I sat in that moment and said, wow, yeah, you're right, man. And I let it settle in. I entertained the idea. I realized it was the right idea. I needed to go into a space where naturally, inherently, my life connected to the story and allowed me to bury the ego and find out, you know what? I need to make a shift. So it's funny. Identity shift, literally the company was born through an identity shift from the one identity of trust or hustle to a new identity of this guy doing identity shift. And then what happens is you got to pretty much get to the point of realizing whatever decision you make, because here's the truth. I could have said, great, I appreciate it, not but the ego go up and walked away and still did nothing. And here's why. You get to make the decision, and you got to make the decision based on what your heart is telling you. Even if your heart, you don't like what it's saying, you got to make that choice because none of them have to live with the decision that you have to. So number 5 is you got to get to the point of entering into a space going, I don't have to do what they say, but I got to live with the decision to go in a direction or not go in a direction. So when you're choosing things, cut the rest of that off now. Get into your silo and go, what's right? Not what feels right, what's right. Because what feels right would have been like, I don't want to do more work. I already got this thing built. I don't want to redo that stuff. But what was right was to go, this man has a point. They're all in the right realm. I got to lean in. And I leaned in. And when I did that, the ego got buried. I built from scratch. But here's the thing. It wasn't scratch. I'd already spent time. We already spend time learning the skill set. I built a new brand faster because I've been in the trenches learning the skill sets in the Trust Your Hustle brand. I then shifted into identity shift in the shift method. So that's your top 5. If you're in a space where people don't listen to you, you find it's a little bit difficult to kind of get to that next level of getting past these pain points or someone squashing your dream, realize there are levels to it. And you can navigate it logically and find the best outcome for yourself. So that's the top 5 things you can do on your Friday to be able to navigate people trying to squish your dream.